A massive Russian missile attack, the largest wave in weeks, targeted power stations and other critical infrastructure. Ukrainian officials say preliminary reports indicate that Russia fired 69 missiles at energy facilities and that Ukrainian forces shot down 54 of them. The Associated Press reports that Russia also dispatched explosive drones overnight to selected regions in the war-torn country. And as the conflict in Ukraine rages on, NBC News chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel takes a look back at the start of the invasion, the escalation, and where things stand as we near 1 year of fighting. And we should issue this warning. Some of the footage you're about to see is graphic.
In the twilight hours of February 24th, President Vladimir Putin took to Russian state television to announce a special military operation that aimed to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine. Minutes later, explosions rocked Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Missiles rained down across the country, and Russia's massive military moved across the border. Putin's special operation was clearly war. Although Putin had long denied his intentions to invade his neighbor, he'd openly claimed Ukraine was part of Russia and demonized Ukraine's leaders. Putin had already illegally annexed Ukrainian territory, the Crimean Peninsula, in 2014, with little international backlash. This time, condemnation came quickly.
Putin's choice to make a totally unjustifiable war on Ukraine will have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger.
Wide-ranging sanctions were rolled out, but they did little to deter. Russia's military, 10 times the size of Ukraine's, moved swiftly to surround Kyiv. But almost immediately, cracks in the mighty Russian army began to appear. Their advances stalled. The Ukrainians organized and fought back. Civilians banded together. Many took up arms to defend their country. It seemed Vladimir Putin hadn't accounted for this, the will of the Ukrainian people. Led by an unlikely hero, President Volodymyr Zelensky, the nation rallied behind the comedian turned politician, now wartime leader. Facing resistance and failing to capture Kyiv, Russia focused its attacks on eastern Ukraine. Moscow called it a change of strategy. For the Ukrainians, it was a major victory, but any celebrations were short-lived. As Russian forces withdrew from around Kyiv, evidence of atrocities and war crimes on a massive scale emerged. First in Bucha, the pattern would continue in other liberated areas. Ukrainian officials documented 50,000 alleged Russian war crimes.
Russia has repeatedly denied its soldiers are responsible.
Why do you think this is happening, that there are now thousands of allegations of Russian war crimes here? Thousands of them.
Something was, something was broken with mentality, with them.
In the east and in the south, Russia's bloody campaign continued. With Putin's forces firing missiles and artillery to hammer towns and cities, often indiscriminately. U.S. officials estimate tens of thousands of Ukrainian civilians have been killed, and 100,000 Russian troops killed or wounded. Ukrainians have soldiered on, backed by international support, including $20 billion in weapons and military assistance from the United States. Ukrainian troops have used it to launch a major counteroffensive, liberating large parts of eastern Ukraine and then the southern city of Kherson, occupied by Moscow for 8 months. As the Ukrainian military moved in, soldiers were given a hero's welcome. President Zelensky called the liberation of Kherson the beginning of the end of this war.
How are you feeling today, Mr. President? How are you feeling?
Very well.
How is this moment for you?
The moment is very important. That is the biggest city what was occupied since 24th of February. So that is the biggest city, and now it's free. So Ukraine came, so I'm happy.
As the conflict nears 1 year, there's still no end in sight. Ukrainians fear the world is losing interest in the war as Putin employs a brutal new tactic, mass targeting Ukraine's infrastructure, just as temperatures plummet. He couldn't take Ukraine as completely or quickly as he'd hoped. Now it seems he's trying to starve and freeze the country into submission. Richard Engel, NBC News.